afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Mesons Botcast. My name is Remington.
And I'm Alora.
And today is Thursday, March 30th, and we're greeting you to talk about our podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, we're starting it up. This is our first ever episode. And basically what we're going to be doing on this podcast is talk about the robotics building process, the programming that goes into it, everything about the robotic process.
Specifically related to First Tech Challenge.
First Tech Challenge, yeah. And we'll also cover many things that have to deal with STEM and science and technology as well. So, first off, our team, this is the 2022-2023 season, and we're currently in the off season. The
Yes.
Mesons didn't score as well, and the Quarks...
We got 15th,
Yeah,
so...
Quarks got 15th. We came 17th. It wasn't our ideal season, but we learned a lot.
the Bosons came in first and were able to move on to regionals, state, whatever that's called, and then second. You came second in regionals, right? Or state? Yeah. Either way, they're going to Worlds.
Yeah. So the Bosons are our pride and joy team for Eureka High School right now, and they're going to Worlds, and we are all excited for them. Out of the three teams here, they pulled a really good job
I
over
think
these
they're
last few events.
ranked 8th in the world, something like that right now.
8th in the world. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Which is very
We'll get
impressive.
clarification on that in a couple seconds. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll get a clarification on that one.
Someday.
But stupid metronome. We are now the Mesons, at least. My name's Remington, right? From the Mesons, and I'm head of outreach and starting this podcast. We are now working for our 2023-2024 season, getting invested in other outreach opportunities, merchandise, talking to the public, and starting this podcast so we can actually educate and teach those who are interested in robotics, and especially the First Tech Challenge.
And hopefully
to
talk
get
about
invested.
silly, goofy things along the way.
Of course, can't
Silly
forget the silly
goofy.
goofy things, because we're all a bunch of silly geese here.
Yep. Says the person who doesn't believe in geese. You said earlier, you were like, I don't believe in geese.
No, geese is a fake word. It's gooses or geeses, and
Geeses does not exist.
no, yeah, it's geeses because when you have more than one type of goose,
You have
geeses.
Not geeses.
No,
Geese. You just have geese.
type of goose. If you have
All right, okay.
more than one goose,
We've gotten off
a
topic.
little off
little
topic.
bit.
Yeah, a little off topic.
Sorry for talking about geese and geese.
She admitted it, people.
No.
It's geeses.
Dang it.
But
beat you up.
to
Oh,
get
that's-
back on track, this is the kind of
The current meta.
we could talk about the
Like
current
the
game meta,
metaverse.
which this season, the 2023 or 2022-2023 season,
Yeah.
it has been the
Oh, power play.
power play was the name of it, but basically
It was real exciting. It was putting cones on poles.
it was putting cones on various size poles, about 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 feet in the air.
Thank you.
Oh dear. Putting them
You're nice.
1, 2, or 3 feet up in the air, and it was basically seeing different teams try and make different ways to put them up there. Some variations have been just pushing cones onto
Ground
junctions.
That's what the Quarks did, 3591. We were not able to get our scissor lift working throughout the entire competition season, so instead we were just a push bot. But that proved to be very successful, considering we got in 15th and kind of outranked your team just a little bit. Sorry,
yeah,
man.
just a little bit,
Just a
but we
little bit.
we let you.
Oh, you let us? You let us? Okay, all right.
No,
Beef?
a small bit.
Beef between teams already?
Yeah, just a small bit, but no, that's the whole process. Different ways about going and scoring, like the Quarks.
Okay. Oh, continue. Sorry.
Like the Quarks said that their bot was a push bot. Our bot, the Mesons bot, 3591.
Two.
Two.
You're two. We're one. You're two. Totally not confusing to have two teams that are the same numbers, except for the last one.
Yep. Okay, 3592, my bad. It's on my shirt. Didn't look, forgot to check that reminder. Our idea was to make a scissor lift and then lift onto the higher cones to score higher points. But overall, our scissor lift, when we came to our last competition, it was a little jankier than we would have liked, operated a little slower, and eventually didn't get us enough points to score the victories.
Your bot also sadly drained a lot of power very quickly because you guys had to change out batteries every match. Yeah, that's a lot. For those of you who don't know that's not good. That is not a good thing.
No, it's not good. We drained a lot of power very quickly because we were moving a lot of mass, and the scissor lift itself, to lift up, it was heavy, and it had to hold the scissor lift in place for us to move the bot and put the cone.
Okay, so you were on the team last year, so would you say that this challenge this year, was that easier or harder than last year's?
Overall, I think the concept of this year's challenge is much easier, and I think that our actual exercising of that process was a lot better than last year's, but we could have done more, and we could have done better, which, last season was putting blocks onto different level, different tiered
they almost looked like cupcake tray type
cupcake trays kind of things, putting on the different type towers, and it was similar to this year's in that it was 3 different levels where you'd put a block on
low, middle, high, right?
Yeah, low, middle, high. And there were similar bot designs, but the shape of the block is different than the cone, so you had some variation, and there were different ways to score points than this season. But overall, this season, just putting it onto the cones, it made it so much simpler because you could grab it like vice grips and then put it on the cone or on the pole, and it'd be super easy.
This year, though, I would say that navigation was harder because the poles and ground junctions were pretty close together, and a lot of teams got stuck, including ours, because we did not have capped wheels, meaning our wheels were not protected, so they would get hooked on poles, and then we'd just get stuck for a little bit. And that's not really a good thing, so that was something that really threw off, I think, a lot of teams, considering that a couple teams got flipped or would run into these things and get turned around the wrong way. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Exactly. Our bot was about the maximum size you could make it. We were
18 by 18.
Yeah, 18 by 18 by 18 inches.
Yep.
And our bot was 17.75 in length and 18 inches in width. It was wide, and it was a mess trying to navigate through all the poles. We often got caught on poles. We often had our turns interrupted by the poles or other bots moving. And really having that clunky of a bot was not optimal at the end of the day, because we've seen a lot of other bots like the Quirks, even with their difficulties navigating, were smaller than ours and did better than ours.
Yeah, ours, width-wise, I think we were 15 inches.
Yep, and that's way better than our 17.75.
What was our length? It was probably, that might have been 16 or 17, but yeah. I'm not going to get a fact check on that. No, I'm not going over to
no fact check on that one.
All right. Do you think that we have said enough about what we're doing here? Yeah? All right. Well, our next episode, we will bring on a special guest. So that will be exciting for all of you.
Yep, the head captain of the Bosons, Matt, the team that is currently going to Worlds right now, we'd like to get his input and insight on how he's done so well and what he's feeling for Worlds this season. It's an impressive display of work that these guys have managed to do, and we'd like to learn more about their process. So, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you adieu. This has been the Mesons Botcast. Mesons Botcast.
Bot.
Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful rest of your day.